Hello, today I'm going to be doing a mediator training, and the mediator that I'm going to be training today is a teacher of a special education class who is having some challenging behaviors in her classroom from a student who is exhibiting some lack of attentiveness in the classroom. This causes a lot of disruptions, and he doesn't stay on task, he doesn't follow instructions, and he's really distracted. He doesn't finish his assignments, and it's really imperative that we help this child. So I'm going to be providing that training. First of all, I would go through the agenda for this training. We're going to be doing a pre-training observation, and that pre-training observation is going to help us identify exactly what the teacher has been doing prior to now.
Go.
Inattentiveness could also be due to environmental factors such as the classroom setting or the instructional format. Whatever the cause of inattention, students can definitely be helped by offering them differentiated instructional strategies that are more engaging and highly motivating for the students. The rationale for training is premised on the fact that every child definitely has potential. However, the the inattentiveness of the situation prevents the child from completing tasks at the right time, from following instructions, and also causing disruptions for the classroom as a whole. That being said, it now becomes very imperative that a teacher that is committed to the success of the student should try as much as possible to find ways of intervening and helping the child to achieve potential by being on task at all times, by being focused, by gaining understanding, and by completing assigned tasks so that this does not negatively impact his or her academic success. Treating this condition, therefore, is absolutely imperative because it will definitely help the child to maximize his or her potential and thereby achieving a meaningful life across academics, career, and even relationships in future. For the purpose of this training program, I have designed a learning objective for the mediator, and I have broken it down into two different types of objectives. There is the immediate objective that is expected to be achieved by the end of the training session today, and also there is a post-intervention objective that is expected to be achieved by the end of the school term, when the educational programming plan is being reviewed by June 30, 2017. Now, for the immediate learning objective, I expect that by the end of today, the teacher will be skilled enough to engage the child's attention during instructional time by maintaining eye contact with the student for at least 2 seconds before providing clear instructions while checking for understanding at least 4 out of 5 times. And for the post-implementation outcome that is expected to be reviewed by June 30th, that's in the medium term, I would expect that the teacher should have been able to capture the student's attention before giving instructions at least 80% of the time by June 30th, 2017. In addition, I expect also that the teacher will be able to give clear instructions and check for understanding with the student at least 80% of the time by June 30, 2017. That being said, on the student's part, it's expected that by that same June 30th, 2017, the teacher would be able to ensure the student focuses on task at least 70% of the time, and that the student completes his classwork at least 70% of the time by June 30th, or 7 out of 10 times. So that's the way it's broken down. So when we're doing the post-training review today, we'll be checking with the learning objectives if the teacher has been able to achieve mastery based on the skill that we're going to be teaching today. And in 3 months' time, at the end of June 30th, we'll be looking at the post-intervention review to check if the teacher has been able to successfully implement these steps in the classroom to ensure that the students is now more attentive and now completing tasks. And in order to help the teacher, who is a mediator, to be able to identify the challenging behavior and also keep in mind the target behavior that we're trying to achieve, it's important that we operationally define the behaviors. So for the purpose of this, the challenging behavior is inattentiveness, which is characterized by a student engaging in any activity different from the assigned task or ongoing activity, such as looking around the classroom, playing with items, talking or placing head on the desk for more than 3 seconds while instruction is going on. And the target behavior, that's the desired behavior that we want to see in the student by the end of June in 2017, is that the student is able to sit quietly in the classroom, make eye contact with the teacher when she's providing instructions, such that the student understands her instructions, focuses on assigned tasks, and regularly completes his homework. Now, to achieve all this, the teacher would have to change her behavior from what she used to do previously that was ineffective to imbibing new skills, which we're going to be treating today, which we're going to be teaching her today, which I'm going to be teaching her today. I have identified a number of classroom interventions that have been proven to be very helpful, and I'm just going to mention them briefly. I will not go into details. I have about 12 of them here. However, I'm going to be focusing on the first 2, which we're going to be using to teach the teacher the skills. So I'll just quickly run through the interventions. One of them is to capture the student's attention before giving instructions, to provide clear instructions and check for clarity and understanding. This helps to ensure that the student is engaged and is not lost or is not daydreaming. Class participation. It will be necessary, it will be good for the teacher to put strategies in place that would engage the classroom as a whole, that keeps them guessing, so that everybody can be an active participant. If a child is motivated to guess, then the child will be willing to say something or to participate in the classroom activities. Another strategy is to employ proximity control. That simply means that the teacher could walk towards the child and stand around the child that is exhibiting the inattentiveness in classroom. When the student feels the presence of the teacher, then there's a tendency for the student to be attentive. Another strategy is to give opportunities for choices, so that the student can make choices. If the teacher says, oh, would you like to do this or would you like to do that, it kind of engages the child and he might pick a preferred activity. To instruct at a brisk pace, so that the child does not get, or the student does not get bored. Another strategy is to make the activity stimulating and attractive, so that it will endear the students to the instruction. Another strategy that has proven to work is paying attention to students that are on task and reinforcing their activities. When a student who is on task is being praised, there's a tendency for another child to desire that praise and imbibe whatever that student was doing, so that he also can be praised. Other classroom interventions include providing a quiet work area, so that a child that has a short attention span can actually be able to focus on what he or she is doing. To provide attention breaks, that is, once in a while, just give attention to the child. When the student knows that the teacher is paying attention to him or her, there's a tendency for him to want to do work that is being assigned. And another strategy is to reduce the length of assignments so that it doesn't become monotonous and boring. Another strategy is to identify the period of peak attention in the child or in the student. That is, what time of the day is the child at peak attention? And then you can provide the most challenging or difficult tasks to that child at that time. Other successful interventions include selecting activities that require active student participation or responding. When a student knows that he or she will be called upon to answer a question, or if he's interested in providing an answer, it makes him to be well engaged. Also, it's good to transition quickly from one subject to another, or from one topic to another, so that it does not cause boredom. There can be an advanced use of organizers or visual aids so that it can help the child get organized, because when he or she is not organized, it will also be very discouraging and cause inattentiveness. And lastly, it's important to use preferential sitting arrangement. A child who is usually distracted easily might perform better if he's sitting in front of the class, whereby all the things that can easily distract him are at the back. But if he's sitting at the back and the items are at the front, then he can easily get distracted and be looking left and right. So those are the general kind of interventions that can be used to help a child who is having challenges with attention in the classroom, as in paying attention to classwork. But like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be focusing on the first two interventions. It's like a two-in-one kind of intervention, because the way it's going to work is that you're trying to gain the attention of the student by calling the child's name, moving close at an arm's length, and trying to make eye contact before providing that instruction. Now, if that works, then it's done. Then we can move on to the activity at hand. However, if that doesn't work, that is when we add the second level of intervention, which is providing clear instructions and checking for clarity with the student. Because if the child does not really understand what's expected of him or her, then he's not going to be able to do what is actually assigned to do. So, like I said, it's like a two-in-one, and those are the only ones we're going to focus on today for the purpose of the behavioral skill training. So now we're going to do the intervention, and for the intervention proper, I'm going to be doing some modeling, and the teacher would eventually have to do the role play, which I'm going to look at. This is my student, her name is Joanne. So I'm the behavior consultant, and I'm going to be modeling exactly what the teacher is expected to do after now. So the first thing is for the teacher to read over the definition of the target behavior before interacting with the child. And the reason for this is because the teacher needs to really understand exactly what we are trying to achieve here. And for the purpose of this program, the target behavior is gaining the child's attention. That's attentiveness. And the way we're going to do it is to move towards, I'm going to move towards the student and be at an arm's length with her so that I'm close enough. And I'm going to call her name, Joanne, and ensure that she looks at me, she responds to me, and we make an eye contact. When we make that eye contact, I will ensure that the eye contact stays for at least 2 seconds before providing directions to Joanne. Once I provide directions to Joanne, I'm going to ensure that she truly understands what I have said by waiting for her response. Whatever her response is going to help me know that she has heard me or not, or that she has understood me or not. If she does exactly what I ask her to do, then I will know that she has truly understood me. However, if she's just looking at me and not doing anything, then that means she's still not attentive. She doesn't understand what I'm doing. Now, assuming she understands what I have asked her to do straight away, she would go ahead and write to show that she's already working on the activity. And once she starts to do that, I'm going to give her a social praise, like I'm going to reinforce her and say, good job, Joanne, way to go. I mean, you're doing very well. I'm happy with you, just to encourage her. And then I'm going to reach out for my ABC recording chart and quickly record the antecedents, what happened before the behavior, what I did, what she did, the behavior that happened, and the consequence, that is the reinforcement that I gave to her. I'm going to record all that down. In case she doesn't understand, I'm also going to double check, which is the second strategy that we're doing today. The second strategy is for me to check for understanding. Are you clear with my instructions? Do you understand? So I'm going to ask her to show that she's clear, that she understands what I'm asking her to do, because I'm telling her to do 22 plus 2. So she's going to be writing to show that she really understands 22 plus 2. And then that would show me that my instruction was clear and that she understood it. Afterwards, I'm going to write my name on the ABC recording chart and then return the data sheet to the clipboard. Okay, so that's it. Go. So today for numeracy, we're going to be doing some 2-digit addition. Joanne, are you listening? Joanne? Okay, so we're doing numeracy and I need you to write 22 plus 2. I said 22 plus 2. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, good job. Way to go, girl. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is Bill. He's a special education teacher that requires some skill building in the area of dealing with a student's challenging behavior. He's going to be doing a role play now of the skills that I just demonstrated in dealing with the child's inattentiveness. So he's going to go through everything, all the stages that I went through. He's going to do some recordings and he's going to deal with the challenging behavior.
Alright class, today we're going to be talking about double digits, addition and subtraction. Joanne? Joanne, are you listening to me? I need you to write 22 plus 2. Joanne, that's not correct. I need you to write 22 plus 2. See? Good job. Very good.